Welcome to Orange Math. Today, I am going to teach you the quotient rule of differentiation. Here's our formula. If f of x is equal to g of x over h of x, then the derivatives of g of x over h of x is equal to h of x times the derivatives of g of x minus g of x times the derivatives of h of x all over h of x squared. For our example number 1, we have the derivatives of 3x squared over 4x. To make our solution easier, we must first identify the functions and their derivatives. For our g of x, we have 3x squared. And for the derivatives of g of x, it is 6x. For our h of x, we have 4x. And the derivatives of 4x is 4. Now, let's follow the given formula. For our h of x, we have 4x times the derivatives of g of x, which is 6x, minus g of x, which is 3x squared, times the derivatives of h of x, which is 4, all over 4x squared. Then 4x times 6x is equal to 24x minus 3x squared times 4, which is 12x squared, all over 16x squared. Then let's separate 24x over 16x squared minus 12x squared over 16x squared. Now, let us simplify. For our first term, we have 24x over 16x squared divided by 4 is equal to 6x over 4x squared. For our second term, we have 12x squared over 16x squared divided by 4x squared is equal to 3 over 4. This is our final answer. The derivatives of g of x over h of x, which is 3x squared over 4x, is equal to 6x over 4x squared minus 3 over 4. Let's take this to the next level. For our example number 2, we have 4x plus 3 over x cubed. Same as what we have done earlier, we will get the functions and their derivatives. For our g of x, we have 4x plus 3, and the derivatives of 4x plus 3 is 4. For our h of x, we have x cubed, and the derivatives of x cubed is 3x squared. Now let's distribute. X cubed times 4 is equal to 4x cubed minus 4x times 3x squared is equal to 12x cubed plus 3 times 3x squared is equal to 9x squared all over x to the power of 6. For this term, we will distribute the negative sign. So, this will become 4x cubed minus 12x cubed minus 9x squared all over x to the power of 6. For our final step, let's combine the like terms. 4x cubed minus 12x cubed is equal to negative 8x cubed minus 9x squared all over x to the power of 6. And our final answer for the derivatives of 4x plus 3 over x cubed is equal to negative 8x cubed minus 9x squared all over x to the power of 6. Now, it's time to exercise your brilliant minds. Here's the problem for you to solve. 2x squared minus 1 over 2x squared plus 1. It's time for you to pause the video. Are you done solving for the answer? If you have this solution, well, you're correct. Here's another exercise. 2x minus 4 over x plus 2. Now pause the video and solve for final answer. Are you done solving? If you have this solution, well, you're correct. Remember the quotient rule of differentiation. The derivatives of g of x over h of x is equal to h of x times the derivatives of g of x minus g of x times the derivatives of h of x all over h of x squared.